Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Basically, today we looking into introduction to Adobe Illustrator. Okay, basically Illustrator is same with Photoshop. As you can see, this one is a close-up vector. We want to render the vector close-up, meaning to say that you need to have some of the drawing first, and then you do the vectoring. Vectoring. Later we see this one in exercise lah. Okay, basically for the Illustrator is graphic editing, well suited to creating graphic from scratch. For example, if you want to uh, to create a logo for the company, you can create by using Illustrator. And then if you want to create bunting, and also for the poster, you also combine into from Photoshop to Illustrator, and then significantly different from many other vectoring graphic software. Most people are more familiar with the bitmap. It is a raster graphic such as what Photoshop produces. Okay, the difference is when you see the bitmap graphics. Basically, when you use the full graphic or tiny square called pixel, you can see the differences. Okay, from 100 to 300, and then when we enlarge until 800, it can be pixelated. Pixelated means that the image itself are broken, okay, into pieces. Okay, the layman definition. And then um, okay, in a photograph, in the photographic images, what you can do is when you use the bitmap, you can open up in the Illustrator. Next week we can exercise some project with the Illustrator. Okay, this one is vector graphic. Vector graphic is different from bitmap graphic because it uses the line. Uses the line, and then when you close up, uh, and then no loss of quality. It is the main point is no loss of quality. You can zoom from 100 to 300 until 800 percentage. Okay, when to use the Illustrator? The Illustrator, as I discussed before, is to create a document. Basically, for the single page document, for poster, for conferences, and then you have bunting and so on. And then you want to create a line, logos, button, and other images with clear areas of solid colors, and then maps, and also for the diagrams. Okay, this one is the basic usage of Illustrator that you can manage to adapt later on when you are exercising the Illustrator. Okay, why Illustrator? It may difficult to convince some of the students because most of you are spending a lot of time using Photoshop. However, for many images, especially when they type listed above, such as bitmap and vector graphics, you can see Illustrator produces much smaller files, and then you can upload it to web or a website much easier, and then it looks better on screen. And when you want to print out, it is the ratio is 1 to 1. The color matching is I think is much better compared to Photoshop's. Okay, and then when you do the logos, especially for the logos, you can create your own logos using Photoshop, using the Illustrator. It is more convenient to to create a logo using Illustrator. Okay, why Illustrator? For this one, you can have drawings like this. Okay, this one is especially who those very keen to have a to draw a picture. You can use Illustrator. Okay, this one poster in case of zombie, call, shotgun, apes. Okay, you can use Illustrator producing these images. Okay, this one is sample of images that can be produced by Illustrator. Okay, getting started. Getting started. This one is the old Illustrator. Okay, like most Adobe Photoshop Adobe products, Illustrator makes use of toolbox and several palettes. The toolbox appears at the left of your Illustrator workspace, while most palettes appear to be right. Later we see this one. We have layers in Illustrator. Okay, and then we have a toolbox. Toolbox contain tools that allow you to create, edit, and view other files. For example, we have any tool icon that has small black arrow in the lower right corner. Okay, okay. I open up the Illustrator. Oh, lambat sikit dia baru nak start up dia punya ni lah. Semua dah install ke Illustrator? Sudah. Okay, kalau sudah kita buat exercise lah sikit nanti. Okay, this one can you see my Illustrator? Boleh nampak ke Illustrator saya? Tidak. Okay, tidak nampak. Okay, saya share lah. Stop sharing. Okay, this one is Illustrator. This one is 2021 Illustrator. You can define startup as a A4 postcard, a common file, iPhone, and also you can have HD or HDTV pixel, and then you can have more preset. Okay, this one you can customize later on based on your needs. For example, if you choose the A4 sizes, okay, later and web large for the portals, and then you can also have the settings for the phones. For example, iPhones, okay, Surface. Okay, this one Apple Watch also can. Okay, 42 mm and so on. Then we have a printout, very common for the web. Okay, and then we have a print. Okay, later legal tabloid A3, B4, B5, and so on. And then it also can fit up to film and videos. And then this one for the arts and illustration. Okay, same goes to Illustrator. We can have RGB and CMYK colors. This one is meant for printing. Okay, this one we can choose screen, medium, or high. Okay, and then we create. Okay, this one is different from Photoshop. As you can see, this one more on the uh, pen tool, anchor point tool, and then so on. This one we have rectangular, and then you can choose this one later on. I teach you later on how to have okay, the basic shapes. Okay, for now, we are looking for the explanation first. Okay, your document appears front and center in your Illustrator workspace. You will find it very useful. Okay, and then to you have zoom tools and click once anywhere on your document to zoom in, to zoom out, alternate click or option click with the zoom tools. Okay, we have alternate click. Okay, we have zoom in and zoom out. Control plus for zoom in, uh, control and minus for zoom out. Okay, control 0 for the default viewing. Okay, control 0. Okay, and then we have hand tools next to the zoom tool. Okay, we have hand tools. Okay, okay, we have hand tools. Okay, just to drag, you can drag. Okay, using the hand tools. This one, you have zoom tool and you have hand tools. Okay. Okay, so far do you have any question? Ada soalan ke setakat ni? Okay, you soon acquainted with several important Illustrator palettes. This one is palette. Many of palettes such as swatches and brushes. Okay, such swatches and brushes here. Okay, you can choose the stroke. Okay, you can put 5 to have a bigger stroke. Okay, okay. Later we see this one. Okay, next week. Then you may have also to click a tab within a palette box to show the particular palette that you wish to use. Okay. You can choose the tab. Okay, you can choose this one. Okay, okay, this one you can also define the width and height. The 50. If you link up this one is auto link. If you adjust this one to 70, this one is auto link. If you put this one, if you want to resize it for your own, put this one. See. Okay, and then when you create an artwork in Illustrator, you do so by drawing lines from to combine a form uh, to form a whole pictures. And each item that you create is we call it as an object. And then for each object there is an outline that called path made up of a point and lines. Okay, you can make up the lines. Okay, using the pen tools. Okay, when you draw. Okay, later we put this one anchor. Okay, how you want to put the object. Okay, let's say you want to put. Okay, later we see this one anchor point. Okay, okay later we okay okay later we see this one next week in details. Okay, right click you can have any transform. Okay, you can reflect. Okay, okay vertical. Okay, you can reflect this one. Okay, transform, rotate, reflect, scale, share. Okay, reset. Okay, you can arrange. Okay, and then you can select, add to library, and so on. Later we see this one next week. Okay, and then pass. Pass is an important concept in Illustrator because it you can fill in with a pattern or gradient. Even to use special brushes on the strokes to combine one compound path. Okay. Okay, and then we can use the points. Okay, if a line change direction at the point, it may do so. Okay, as a corner point. Okay, you have a smooth point. Later we see this one. Next week we do a lot of exercises. Okay, and then the easiest thing to draw in Illustrator is include the shapes such as rectangle, ellipse, or polygon. Next, you can draw a rounded rectangle, ellipse, polygon, or star. Okay, then you have pencil tools. Okay, okay, then you have selection tools and so on. Okay, this one is drawing with shape pencil, a pen, and selection tools. Okay. Okay, this one is stroke. Remember, stroke refers to the outline path. Fill refer to colors that fill in the outline. Okay, this one is what you want to changing the stroke or fill colors. Okay, this one making color choices and so on. Okay, later we see this one. Okay, this one LIQUIFY tool. Okay, when you use this tool, you can have original. You can twist, you can wrap, you can twirl, you can pucker, float, scallop, crystallize, or wrinkle. This one is just the effects. Okay, okay, wrap tools. Okay, effects. This one. Okay, okay. This one is just the effect. Stylish, glowing edge, texture. Okay, for the video, you can have the interlace or NTSC colors. Okay, line and pen tools. This one we do a lot next week. Arc tool to draw a curved line. Okay, and then this one when you add a new anchor point with the pen tool, you may choose to click and drag instead of clicking once. Okay, and then you can have you can draw the face. Okay, and then you can select the group. Okay, okay, this one complex exercise. Later we see this one in detail. Mm, okay, text same goes to Photoshop. When you want to add the text, you can put text tool here. Okay, okay, contohnya, for example, okay, you can have a lot of branches and switches here. Okay, you can okay, okay, you can have a normal. Okay, you can have outer. Okay, like this. Okay, okay. So far, do you have any question? Ada soalan ke? Reflect. Kita boleh reflect horizontal ke? Kalau kita nak reflect, nanti kita akan tengok lah. We look this one next week. We do a lot of exercises lah. Okay. Lepas tu kita nak double click to convert edit type. Okay. Same goes to Photoshop but this one is more on the vector images. And then color in text, and then we have placing tag from word processor. It can link for the word processor, and then we have the wrapping around the object. Okay, fitting the tag inside the object. Okay, pass type and so on. Okay, for the Illustrator, we save file. We use a for the Adobe PDF or Illustrator EPS. Okay, and then you can export to the format to Office Clip Art. Okay, and then JPEG also can, Photoshop. Okay, when you want to save as, you can have Photoshop, uh, Adobe PDF, Illustrator, template. Okay, okay, PDF also can. Okay, let's say you want to save as PDF. Okay, for example, poster. Yeah, this one Illustrator, you can have the standard. Okay, can compatibility, Acrobat. Basically, we choose by default lah. Okay, save PDF lah. Then when you download, okay, click on the download. This one is poster. Mana saya save tadi? Kat document. Poster dia, poster. Okay, this one is example of the poster.